Swan Country Homes is a family-run development and construction company with an overriding ambition to build good quality, sustainable housing for all to enjoy. With over 30 years' experience in the building industry, Mark Swan has led the company from strength to strength. The type of construction that has gained us a wealth of knowledge over the years have been from standard 2 and 3 bedroom estate housing, barn conversions and more recently apartments. We like to think that we are one of the leading companies at the forefront of modern methods of construction. For the past 7 years, we have been building both houses and apartments from timber frame. We have achieved a Civic Award for a low-carbon development in Weymouth, Dorset, where we constructed 28 apartments from timber frame with green roofs, heat recovery, ventilation systems and underfloor heating. Swan build private homes and affordable housing using modern methods of construction. Torbay Borough Council set out a planning document to steer the shortlist of partners to work from in producing their master plans. They were, in brief, to ensure public access to the mansion and rotunda, to ensure public access to the grounds, to retain the bowling clubs. However, consideration would be taken if removal off-site was presented as a preferred option, to arrive at the end-user operator for the site and mansion, to provide the council with sufficient funds to relocate. These main points and the potential to provide a viable proposal without compromising the setting of the listed buildings were the basis from which we developed our master plan. After listening to what the Friends of Oldway and other committee members had to say, this included council officials and the Conservation Society, we have gone through a number of options before arriving at the current work in progress you see here today. Our principal objective is to secure the long-term future of the mansion, the rotunda, the banqueting house and the gardens. The cost of restoring and converting the listed buildings and restoring the gardens runs into many millions. There is no significant public money available to restore these important buildings and the gardens, and so to raise the necessary funding, we will use the profit from the new residential development proposed on the area currently occupied by the bowling greens and the indoor bowling centre. We have selected the bowling greens and the indoor bowling centre for new development because this area has been altered more than any other part of the gardens since they were conceived by Achille Duchesne, a French garden designer, in 1897. Most of the alterations were carried out in the early 1930s for the Torbay Country Club to include the main drive off Torbay Road. The original entrance was to the north of the mansion. The levelling of the area to create the bowling greens, the construction of the indoor bowling centre, the laying out of hard tennis courts on both sides of the drive. We proposed to replace the bowling greens south of the existing drive with the indoor bowling centre, either located off-site or within an earth-sheltered structure below the eastern bowling green. Architecturally, this could recall the former orangery, once a feature of the gardens and now demolished. This is an option we would value public comment on. The new housing area consists of 67 family houses with gardens and 82 apartments. Based on our current understanding of the likely costs, the extent and quality of development proposed is the minimum that is needed to provide the finance to restore the listed buildings and gardens. With the fallout from the current credit crunch selling residential property, the next few years are likely to be challenging, and we are keen to present a balanced mix of property types to the market, not just flats. 30% of all new dwellings will be affordable in accordance with the planning policy and the council's development brief, but with designs indistinguishable from those we sell. To reduce the visual impact of the new development on the setting of the listed buildings, we have adopted a crescent form, thereby setting most development back and minimizing direct frontage onto the main drive. The lower density houses with gardens occupy the area closest to the listed buildings, with the denser apartment blocks further away to the east of the area. This arrangement also allows for the retention of the majority of the existing trees that provide a screen between the new development and the listed buildings. New building heights, as currently planned, are 2-storey for the houses, with some accommodation within roof spaces and 2 or 3 stories for apartment buildings. We have sought to keep the eaves heights of new development well below the eaves of both the rotunda and the mansion. Architecturally, the new homes will be simple and visually subservient, presenting a neutral foil to the ornate listed buildings. The partnership shares a passionate vision and commitment to delivering a sustainable future. In all our projects, we have a genuine commitment to putting into place the principles of sustainable development that are the core of our work. This can be difficult to achieve with historic listed buildings. The new car parking area to the south of the main drive will relieve parking pressures within the mansion's entrance courtyard, allowing for its redefinition as a focal space, including the restoration of the historic central water feature, now removed. The Swan Oldway Partnership is made up of 4 main partners: Swan Country Homes Limited, Matrix Design Partnership, Hasto Housing and Pan Leisure.